Firstly, Leon, congratulations on being appointed Bishop Auckland FC manager. It must have been a manic 24 hours, but now the dust is somewhat finally settled.
Yeah.
How you feel?
Like you said, it's been a manic 24 hours. I think I've had more phone calls and text messages in the last 24 hours than I've had in the last 4 months. Yeah, it somewhat come as a bit of a shock. Obviously, I've been with Chris 3 years at the football club. I think it's fair to say in the moment, the job that Chris has done, I think, needs to be applauded and respected. Chris came into an environment which was relegation fodder. It was dire, truth be told, on the pitch, and he brought me in with him. I've supported him in the best way I can. I've learnt from Chris, and the on-field performances speak for themselves. So I think in the moment, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity, but well done to Chris as well. But as for the last 24 hours, like you say, it's been crazy. I've had plenty of text messages, phone calls, wishing me all the best. But the answer to your question is, mate, I'm excited. It's something I'm ready for. It's something I've half had my eye on for quite a while when the moment comes, respectfully, to make the step up. Under Chris's guidance over the last 3 years, I've learnt a lot, probably not realising what I'd learnt until the moment arrives. No, I'm excited. I'm keen to get going and actually get on the pitch rather than answering phone calls.
Obviously, Chris left the club yesterday afternoon. Naturally, you've stepped forward to take over.
Yeah.
Is it a challenge you're now looking forward to help progress the club?
Yeah. Obviously, like I made reference to, the club that we came into on the pitch to where it is now is night and day. But ultimately, my desire to kick on the club's ambitions, match my ambitions, and this isn't just a case of coming in and stabilising. We've got a great group of players in there. You've got the foundation of the football club to support it, and unless I'm missing a beat somewhere, the ambitions is to keep going up. I feel over the last 4 or 5 weeks we've turned a corner, and results have shown that, and that is just the start point of where we want to go. And we made big, bold predictions inside the dressing room at the start of the season, and that doesn't change because Chris is gone. If anything, it gives me the desire to kick on even more.
Obviously, you've played under Chris yourself as a manager and being his assistant, but you've also been around other big managers like Carl Jarrett and others that I can't think off the top of my head. What have you learned from them? What are you going to try and take in?
I think, obviously, I'm glad you brought up that I've been around the block a little bit, Joe. I've played for quite a few. And I think if I had to pinpoint the likes of Chris, Carl, another good manager, he had also Ian Clark with him, who was a fantastic coach, Jason up at Spennymoor in my days up there. If I pinpoint them three particularly amongst, without being disrespectful to other people, they were organised, they were on it, the fingers were on the pulse, they knew what they were about, what the club was about, and that's something that I've been massively about since I come here with Chris. People call it busy, people call it whatever they want, but you have to be, got to know what's going on, not just in your football club, but in other football clubs. And I'll take little pieces of what I've learned from the other managers, and hopefully it'll produce what I want when we step over the white line.
So obviously, what does a Leon Carlin team look like?
Funny, it's an interesting question, Joe, because I've been here from the start with Chris. When you've spent time as a footballer in Chris's dressing room, you listen to the way Chris conducts himself, the way he speaks, the style of play that we've all become accustomed to. So that's in me. So when we came to the football club, it was always our ambition to create this ethos, which is how we play now at Bishop Auckland. So in terms of how will my team play, this has been a collective thing between me and Chris. I've just jumped on Chris's coattails of his style of play. Do I expect to make some slight tweaks? Absolutely. I think the level forces you to not be ticky-tack total football all the time. But we'll stick to our principles. Our principles are we're entertaining, we're on the front foot, we play with smiles on our faces, and we want to go and score goals. As you've seen for the last couple of weeks, we want to stop goals going now net as well. And that needs to maintain. But there'll be some fine-tuning of a couple of little bits and pieces. I'll put my own stamp on a couple of areas, but ultimately I've been part of what is now effectively the club's DNA from a footballing point of view for the last 3 years. So there won't be drastic change, and I don't think there's any need to either.
Obviously, you've got a baptism of fire on Saturday versus top of the league. Away. How are you looking forward to that, and how are you going to go through that game?
Yeah, what a start. Cleethorpes away, they're up there, they're flying, they're expected to be in amongst the promotion teams. There's two ways of looking at it, Joe. You can go there and think, let's defend for our lives and backs against the wall mentality and give nothing away, or we can go and do what we've done for the last 4 or 5 weeks. We can be disciplined, we can be organised, we can take responsibility of the ball when we've got it, and we can show what we're about. We've played many sides this season and results might not reflect that, but there's been some good sides we've played and some sides where you think they're all right. I think on our day we're as good as anyone. We can compete with anyone, that's for certain, but we've got to get our house in order, and if we're organised, we're at it, which I expect us to be, albeit a few injuries that need to be addressed. We'll go and we'll be Bishop Auckland, we'll do what we do, and I think if we're at it, we can give anyone a game in this league. And like you seen last week against a good side, the reality was it was a 50-50 game against a team that's right up there, and the chance at the end from Cyril, that goes in, we've come away in a game which, like I say, was in the balance against the top side, and we've won, but we haven't, we've took a point, and that'll be our aim on Saturday, go there and get a positive result. As simple as that.
Jesus, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.